Yo, what's good with you? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the TCL Stylus 5G against the Samsung Galaxy Note8. And we're going to be comparing both of these devices to see which one is actually going to be the better option for you in 2022. Stay locked in with me. Yo, what's going on, crew? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be taking a look at the Note8 and we're going to be comparing it to the newer version of which is the TCL Stylus 5G. Both of these devices do have pens, and I really am a huge fan of devices that actually have a pen feature, because you could take notes, you could draw, you could sketch. Me being the type of person who's very artistic and like creative, I really just enjoy phones with that feature. So I'm a huge fan of devices with the stylus. It started off with the Note8 4 that I used to have from way back in the day, and then ever since then I've messed around with the LG Stylus series, which is actually LG's not making any more phones, so that kind of sucks. But TCL is starting to make phones that have styluses, so this is actually their first generation stylus phone. So we're going to be comparing it to the Note8. So I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're brand new to the crew. But I truly appreciate you. I encourage you to subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. Make sure you stay to the end of the video, because we're going to be jumping into the camera comparison, the screen displays, the battery life, as well as the features and overall performance. But if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, I want to remind you to hit the like button so we could beat the YouTube algorithm, okay? But if you're already a part of the crew, so let's just jump into these devices right here. And starting off with the Note8, you can see we do have iris scanning. On the TCL Stylus 5G, we do have a facial ID. They both have fingerprint sensors now. The TCL Stylus 5G is going to be a bigger display with 6.8 inches versus the Note8 is going to be 6.3, even though it seems a lot bigger than that because the bezels are so narrow, and so it still feels like it's a modern day phone or whatever. But one of the main differences is going to be the displays, and let's just look at the build quality with both of these things, and we'll jump into some of the displays right after this, the features of displays. But you can see we have a side mounted fingerprint sensor which doubles as a power button on the TCL Stylus 5G. And what's cool is they actually have a setting where you could press the fingerprint sensor to unlock it, or you could just tap it. So on the Note8, you have the fingerprint right here on the right side of the camera. So let me show you what I was talking about when I was talking about the fingerprint sensor on the I'm talking about the Stylus 5G. So it says right here, fingerprint sensor, and it says use fingerprint to unlock device. Unlock device, use your fingerprint sensor. You can unlock method when screen is off. You can just press and unlock or whatever. But you can see right here, there's let me turn this off, and it says disable all fingerprints to unlock your device, cancel. But here it is, press and unlock. So you could actually just touch it and unlock, or you can press and unlock. So like if you just press it now, it's going to be pretty fast. But they do have a feature where you can just you can actually pretty much just press it or tap it, and I just activated the tap feature, which is extremely quick. And then on the Note8, it's going to be extremely quick as well when it comes to the fingerprint sensor. Starting off with the top of the devices, we could both have microphones at the top. Both of these devices do have expansion, and at the top of the Note8, you're going to notice that that's where you have your SD card for expansion, right? And then on the top of this TCL Stylus 5G, you can see we do have a microphone and stuff like that. This one does have a microphone as well. On the other side of the phones or whatever, you're going to notice that, so we're just starting off the right. This is the power button of the Note8, and with the iris sensor, it's going to be extremely reliable for unlocking. Now the stylus pens for both of these devices, or the S pens for both of these devices, do have a click feature where you can release it from the device, and when you release it from the device, it's going to bring up that note-taking capability. So you can't write with the other pen or whatever on both of these. You have to use the designated pen. But let's see, let me see, the TCL Stylus 5G, and I think TCL did a really good job when it comes to the accuracy and quickness of this one. And this is the Samsung Galaxy Note8. So you can see they're both going to be really, really solid when it comes to the pens, but the S Pen I still think is a little bit more accurate, just because it has a more narrow tip, replaceable tips, where this one you don't have to worry about replacing it because it's like a carbon fiber tip. But they're almost the exact same size and almost the exact same dimensions. TCL Stylus being a little bit shorter. This guy does have a button on here for more convenience. You can actually erase with that button and other things like that, but you can't like take pictures like the Note 10 or whatever. This one doesn't have a button, but they're both going to be pretty solid when it comes to the overall features of the pen. I really like how TCL kind of tried to rival the Note when it comes to the features of the pen. So that's I do like the TCL, but overall, when it comes down to the pen features, Samsung has it's really hard to beat. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there or whatever. But when it comes to the overall cameras on the back of these phones, you're going to see that we do have a 12.2 megapixel camera for the Samsung as the main camera, and then on the main camera for the TCL, it's a 50 megapixel. So we also do have a 5 megapixel wide angle camera for the TCL, but the Note 8 has a telephoto, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and then the TCL has a 2 megapixel portrait and 2 megapixel macro. Now, as far as the front facing cameras, we're going to get a 13 megapixel on this on the TCL, so it's a 13 megapixel on the front, and then on the Note 8 it's going to be an 8 megapixel camera. So let me just show you guys a quick sample of the front and rear cameras. I'm going to take a picture with both. You let me know which one is better. The Note 8 tells you when you should clean the camera, which is kind of cool. So let's just take a quick photo. 1, 2, 3. And let's flip it around and then take a photo of this guy right here, and then we'll jump into the performance. We'll compare the displays and the audio quality. So Note 8 on the right, TCL on the left. Let's go ahead, brighten both displays. I'm going to jump into the display quality as well right after this, so you guys can see the overall differences when it comes to the displays right after this. But let's just take a look at the detail on the Note 8 right here. Really good. And the TCL has a lot of details. So, you know, Note 8 is still really good, but the TCL just has that really good details. I can't even front. Look at the reflection on the shirt or whatever, and the details on the face. You can see the TCL on the left does a really, really good job when it comes to comparing it to the Note 8. So even though the Note 8 is a flagship, older flagship, and the TCL is a mid-range phone, the TCL does a really good job with details and stuff like that. So really big, you know what I'm saying, improvements to camera configurations for TCL over the years of them making smartphones or whatever. Now both of these devices do have designated gallery apps. So let's go back into the photos and take a look at the front-facing camera that I just took a picture with. Let's go back into album. So here we go, selfies. And when it comes to the front-facing camera, it did blow up my face when it came to the TCL, and it did, you know, make my skin look more realistic on the Note 8. So both photos do look pretty decent. Overall, I probably prefer the Note 8 photo just because it did keep the same color of my skin, which is you know, that that realistic, more accurate skin tone. So let's just jump into the cameras, then the performance, then the audio, and then the battery, and then we'll wrap up the video, okay? All right, guys, so if you're still here, just comment down below and let me know you're still here. Just type in hashtags I'm still here. But let's take a look at the display quality, and we're gonna be looking at the Note 8 on the right and the TCL Stylus 5G on the left. 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and expand the displays and just show you the difference. Now on the display of the Note 8, it's actually going to be a beautiful panel. And I want to talk about the specifications on that panel. Okay, so when it comes to the display on this guy, it's a Super AMOLED 18:9, 1440 x 2960 versus the TCL, which is a 21:9, 1080, 2460. Now the Note 8 is a wide quad HD plus display versus the TCL, which is a full HD plus display. Now 395 ppi for the TCL, whereas on the Note 8 we're getting 522, which is a very high density of ppi, pixels per inch. And we do have Gorilla Glass 5 on the Note 8 for protection. So we're getting the NEG Dino Rex glass on the TCL, which I noticed does scratch easy, but it just doesn't cut. It's just light microfiber scratches, and both of these displays do look absolutely gorgeous. But one of the things you're going to notice is that the Note 8 has extremely deep blacks, which just make it look incredibly beautiful when taking a look at the display. Now let's jump into the gaming performance on both of these devices, then we'll jump into the audio, okay? Okay guys, so we're going to talk about the performance on the Note 8 right here, and let's just go into the graphics settings so I can show you guys the graphics settings. Extreme with the smooth on there as well. So the processing chip on here is still really good. It's a Snapdragon 835, and when you look at the graphics on here, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The colors and the movement feels realistic and really smooth, with no lag or hesitation when you're gaming. So it feels like you're actually playing on a phone that's meant for gaming, which is really solid and intuitive overall. So I'm just really impressed with the overall speed of this device. Even after so many years, it just feels incredibly smooth to game on, and I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a huge fan of the Note 8 still to this day. Just keep in mind that you will have Android 9 on this Note 8 versus Android 12 on the TCL, which is something that you should know before picking up both, because obviously newer isn't always better, right? But you will get a newer processing chip on the TCL. Okay guys, so now we're going to test out the gaming performance on the TCL Stylus 5G. And this has, when it comes to the graphics, the smooth and ultra, but not the extreme like the Note 8. But it's, regardless of that, it has 4 GB of RAM, the Dimensity 700, which is actually pretty good too. And it's an absolutely incredible processing chip for the money. So it does feel pretty fast. It doesn't feel like as smooth as the Note 8, but it will feel incredibly smooth when gaming on here. You won't have any issues with it whatsoever when it comes to the gaming on here. So I'm very impressed with the gaming performance on this chip. The Dimensity 700 is probably a favorable chip to use in this territory when it comes to the budget price point, because you won't really be missing out on too much when it comes to the performance. You're still going to be able to game really well and stuff like that, and you're going to get the most out of this device based on the uses that you're using on here. Because of the chipset, it's going to be really good. So you definitely can get first blood or whatever and really enjoy the graphics on this device as well at the exact same time. So I'm a huge fan of it when it comes to gaming. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the overall audio quality on both devices. So we're going to actually compare some of the audio quality with these guys. So one of the things I'm gonna do is just pull up a song on both of these devices and make sure it's the same exact song real quick. So, and then we're gonna play the speakers on both of here. So let me just do that on, start out with the TCL Stylus 5G. So that's as loud as it gets. It does have dual speakers on this device. Now let's listen to the Note 8, okay? Let's listen to the TCL one more time, just to see which one's louder. Oh yeah, so the TCL Stylus is definitely a little bit louder, probably because it has the dual speakers on board or whatever. But we're getting a 3,300 milliamp hour battery on the Note 8 and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in the TCL Stylus 5G, which means that the TCL will probably give you more battery life. But just keep in mind, we're getting IP68 waterproof resistancy when it comes to the Note 8. And, you know what I'm saying, just the wireless charging feature is going to be pretty clutch as well. But both of these guys are extremely powerful. And, you know what I mean, they're going to get the 128 gigabytes of internal storage for the TCL versus the 64 on my Note 8. But overall, the display just seems to be one of the most still amazing, as well as all the features on the Note 8, whereas the TCL Stylus is going to offer a more affordable, actually Metro by T-Mobile is offering this device where you can buy one for free if you port in your number, and if you add a line you can get it for, you know what I'm saying, $79, but if you bring your number over from another carrier you can actually get this device for free. So hopefully you guys did find this video helpful, useful, informative to you in any way possible. I definitely think that the Note 8 is still a really good option, but if you're looking for the newest software when it comes to the Android system, which is Android 12 Snow Cone, then I would definitely recommend the TCL Stylus 5G, but you still can't go wrong with the Note 8 regardless. And the pen is still unmatched when it comes to like just the features and the usability and how it feels when you're writing, even though the TCL Stylus is going to offer some really you know what I'm saying, lucrative features and really useful features. But do me a favor, hit the like button. I just want to remind you to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Click right here or here, but in the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and depending on where you are, have a great night. Later, crew. Peace.